Great. Good. And let's start on, we're looking at a variety of defence topics this evening. Just before we get on to that, if you go to my website, bridgeclass.co.uk, there's information there about if you wish to join these online lessons, you can send an email to my address there. And I've got a page there with handouts. And if you scroll down there, you'll see a handout on the defense, which is of standard leads. And if you click on that, you'll see a handout on standard leads there. And let me just make a slight change. There we go. And you'll see a handout of standard leads, which if you're not familiar with, you should print out and try and memorize. These are the leads you should make once you've decided which suit to lead. There's a fairly standard lead on opening a lead, at least, about which card to lead. So let's start off with a lead problem. And let's suppose you're West and the bidding has been 2 no trump, 3 no trump, and it's your lead and you decide to lead a spade. And the question for you is, which spade should you lead? So that's the subject of the first poll. You decide to lead a spade against 3 no trump. Should you lead the queen, the jack, the 9, or the 7? And it's 55-45 between the queen and the 7. However, if you look at this table of standard leads here, you will see that the queen is considered the normal lead if you have queen jack 9 or if you have queen jack 10. And although it's not always guaranteed to be the best lead, it's considered the normal lead, and you should have led the queen here rather than the 7. It will help in a situation like this where declarer has got, let's say, the king and the 10. If you lead the queen here, then if declarer doesn't play the king from dummy, your partner knows that they don't have to play the ace. Whereas if you'd played the 7, if you'd led the 7 and declarer plays low from dummy, then if your partner wants to win that trick, they would have to play the ace, and that will promote the king for declarer. So do try and so in this case, might signal the 5, play with the 5 high to encourage, and then if my partner carries on with the jack, whenever the king gets played, we'll play the ace, and then we'll be able to play the last 2 spades to win the first 4 tricks. If I rewind this and click on the GIB button, the computer is telling me that the only leads that will lead to the contract being defeated is if you lead a top spade there. So do study those. A lot of people forget about leading from top of a sequence or top of a near sequence. Do interrupt me if you have any questions on that. Let's try another one. This time, your partner leads the ace of clubs against 3 no trump. The bidding has been 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. That's a weak no trump, opening showing 12-14. And your partner starts off with the ace of clubs. And that is presumably top of a sequence. You can't really help, so you just play a low club. We're playing standard signals here, high to encourage, low to discourage. We've nothing to encourage about here, so we just play low. However, my partner takes the first 3 clubs and then plays the 4th club, and this is also going to win a trick. And declarer plays the 2 of spades from dummy. And I've got the second poll for you, which is, what do you think East should discard here? Have a little think about it. And here comes the second poll. The question is, what do you think East should discard here? Have a look at the results. And there are answers for everything, with the most popular response being four of diamonds. Well, let's go back and have a look at this. Well, this is a sort of typical situation where discarding and trying to give a signal to your partner is quite a problem. Um, if you think about it, your partner started with quite a nice hand. He started with the ace, king, queen of clubs. So he probably doesn't have much else there. And, I might think, well, I've got want to signal perhaps encouragement in hearts by playing a high heart. On the other hand, maybe that would be a mistake because your partner's going to win this last club. And I don't necessarily want him to switch to a heart unless he has something in that suit as well. For example, if he plays a low heart and it turns out Declara's got the ace and the jack of hearts, which is quite likely, then him leading a heart is just sort of trapping my king there. So I could lead discard a diamond, although this just will probably put off the time I have to signal. If I play a diamond, of course, I'll play the four of diamonds because I've no interest in that suit. Well, that will be obvious to my partner anyway from looking at dummy. So there's no real easy discard here. I think I'm just going to discard low cards because I don't particularly want my partner to lead anything. And I might discard a diamond would be a reasonable choice, or another one would be a low spade, perhaps. A four of spades, I think, is a reasonable choice. You don't really want to signal encouragement because anything your partner leads may help Declara if they lead one of the major suits. Anyway, I signaled discouragement with a four, but my partner now switches to the jack of spades, and that's quite interesting. He wouldn't really lead the jack unless he had some kind of sequence like the jack 10-9 or something like that. So now I'm quite happy with spades being led because I've got the queen, and we may or may not make a spade at some point, but we're not helping Declara if he's got the jack 10-9 and I've got the queen and the 8. So this time I might signal encouragement. Seems odd. I signaled discouragement the first time and now I'm signaling encouragement. Anyway, Declara wins that trick with the king and now cashes diamonds. So he plays 2 rounds of diamonds and he's going to carry on with diamonds, and I've got to find some more discards. Again, I don't really like to discard anything, but let's suppose we discard a heart and discard a spade. And we're down to the last 4 cards now. And at this point, Declara leads the Queen of Hearts. And I've got the next poll for you, which is which heart do you think he should play? The king, the 8, or the 7? And nearly all of you have gone for the king here. And that is correct. You should cover an honor with an honor here if it might promote a trick for your side. And the right card to play here is to play the king. If we bring up the 4 hands at this point, we can see that on this occasion, your partner has the 10. So as long as he's kept his hearts, then he can make a trick with a 10, but only if I cover. Can you see that if I don't cover, if I let the queen go, it will win the trick. Then Declara will play another heart, finesse the jack, and take the ace, and he'll win the last 4 tricks. But there's a chance that we can make a trick if my partner's got the 10 or the jack, if I cover. So if I cover, Declara has to win with the ace, and now my partner will make a trick with the 10 if they've kept their hearts. So played that way, you'll hold Declara to 8 tricks there. If we got to the same point and Declare, instead of leading the Queen of Hearts, led a low heart. Now, of course, you should not cover. You should play a low heart, play second hand low. And although they can win that trick with the jack, they will probably, again, until they play the Queen, I should keep playing low. And in the end, I will make a trick with my king there. So do think about playing second hand, covering an honor with an honor. I see an awful lot of people not doing it, and it's often the right thing to do. Of course, if Declare had the ace, jack, 10, then it doesn't really matter whether you cover or not. But if your partner has the 10 or the jack conceivably, then it can help if you cover an honor with an honor there. Do interrupt me if you're having any questions on that. Don't send me a chat because I can't really read those while I'm giving the talk. Let's try this one where it's opening 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. And your partner here leads the jack of spades, which is presumably their best suit and top of the sequence. So you have a look at dummy, Declare calls for the queen from dummy, and let's suppose you play the ace to win the trick. And I've got the next poll for you, which is what suit do you think he should play now? Should you play a spade, a heart, a diamond, or a club? Have a look at the results. And we've got 45% going for a spade, 27% for a club, 23% for a heart, and 1 person went for a diamond. And sorry, let's see what we think about it. Well, what do we make of your partner's lead? They've led the jack of spades, so they should have some kind of sequence headed by the jack 10-9, or something like that. And what you can see is that because you've been able to beat the queen with the ace, they've still got a stopper there, which is the king of spades. But you have the ace of diamonds here, which is a very important card because it means that if you take your ace of diamonds at the right moment, Declarer will not be able to run the diamond suit. So here, both because your partner led the suit and you, even though leading another spade will allow Declarer to make a trick, it will knock out the last spade stopper. And now you will be able to prevent Declarer making those diamonds. So yes, the right card to play here is another spade. You play high from 2 remaining. Here, your partner plays the 8. And if Declarer doesn't take the king, your partner leads another spade. And eventually Declarer wins the king. Now Declarer plays diamonds. And of course, when they start off with the king of diamonds, you're not going to take your ace right away. What you're going to do is look at the signal from your partner. And here your partner plays the 2. And if they are signaling correctly, that would be a count signal, probably indicating that they started with 3 diamonds. Now, the way to think about this is there were 5 diamonds in dummy, 3 in your hand. That leaves 5 between the west and the south hand. And if your partner started with 3, that meant Declarer started with only 2. There is one other possibility, which is that the 2 of diamonds is a singleton, but in that case, you can't prevent Declarer from running the diamonds. But more likely, it's 3 cards. And if you trust your partner's signal, that was 3 cards, Declarer only started with 2 diamonds, and you should take your ace as Declarer plays the last diamond from their hand. If, by the way, you weren't certain whether your partner was signaling correctly or not, I would not take the ace here. I would play low and take the ace on the 3rd trick. But if you trust your partner's signals, you will take your ace now. And if I bring up the forehands, you'll now see that Declarer has no more diamonds and won't be able to make any more diamond tricks. So here I will switch to a club here. First of all, it's my better suit out of hearts and clubs, in the sense that I have the jack. Also declare a bid a heart at one point, so they're more likely to have length in that suit. So the right card to lead here is the jack of clubs. And now if the queen is played, your partner wins the ace and can cash their last spade. After this, you may or may not make another trick here, depending on how the clubs lie. If you can see at this point, East as East have got a good club, and you may make it as Declarer can't get to cash those diamonds. So if you keep the right thing at the end, you can actually make a trick with your last club and hold Declarer to 7 tricks there. So that was what we often do as a defender when my partner leads a suit and when we win the trick. It's often a good idea to lead the suit back. And here, from looking at dummy, you can see that was the right thing to do. What about this one? Here it's gone 1 no trump, 3 no trump. And again, your partner leads leads the jack of spades. This time the queen is played and you win that first trick with the ace. And I've got the next poll for you, which is, which suit are you going to play this time? Are you going to carry on with spades or switch to a heart or play a diamond or a club? So this time, the most popular response is a heart followed by a spade and a club. And let's switch back and see if we can work this out. Well, this hand is a little bit different from the last one because that diamond suit in dummy is probably already set up. Either Declarer has got the king of diamonds in their hand and they've got a source of 6 tricks there, or if West has it, Declarer will be able to finesse against it and avoid any diamond losers. So whereas last time it was right to continue with spades, this time, because of that long, strong suit in dummy, we really need to switch to another suit where we hope we can make some tricks. And yes, based on what we've got, and there are 2 weak suits in dummy, hearts and clubs. But our stronger suit is hearts. So I think I'm going to lead the queen of hearts. And let's bring up the forehands. And we're hoping for some kind of holding like this where Declarer can't win this first trick. And I hope you can see also that it was quite important for you to lead a top heart there, the queen higher than so that you can retain the lead if Declarer plays low. But if Declarer plays the king, then your partner can win the ace and should carry on in hearts. You can win the jack now, carry on playing hearts, and you can defeat the contract by taking the heart tricks. Now, whatever happens, Declarer's going to win and will claim the rest, but you've held Declarer to down 1. I hope you can see, if we go back to the point here where we win the ace, if we just play another spade back, then Declarer's in great shape because they'll win the king of spades and they'll cash all those diamonds and and at least 1 club, and so they will make their contract there. So that was a situation where you have to think about what to lead, and as the computer is saying here, the only lead here that will defeat the contract is switching to the queen of a top heart, the queen of hearts. The club may have worked out equally well. but on this occasion it doesn't because Declarer's got the ace. So, but it's definitely a time not to carry on with spades. Let's have a look at this one. Here it's gone one no trump, two clubs, two diamonds, two no trump. And your partner here leads the 8 of diamonds. And you should be thinking about what that 8 of diamonds is. And one thing you should do when your partner leads what could be their 4th highest card against no trump here is use the rule of 11 to see if that could be their 4th highest. So what you do is from 11, you take the number of the card they've led, 8, and that is a number of cards higher than the 8 in the other 3 hands. And if you work that out, you'll see that there are 3 cards you can already see that are higher than the 8. That's the queen, and you've got the ace and the 10. So if you believe your partner has made the 4th highest, has led their 4th highest, then you can see Declarer's got no diamonds higher than the 8. And unless the queen is played from dummy, you should play the 10 here. That wins the trick. You could have let your partner win it with the 8, but it's better if you play the 10 here because you know how to play the diamond suit now. You're going to make sure you take as many diamonds as possible by overtaking the 8 with the 10. Then you cash the ace, and then you play the 3 over to your partner's king. And that way, your partner can now actually make another diamond. And this time, when they lead the jack of diamonds, again, we want to signal we're about to win the 4th trick. And this time, we emphatically do want them to play a heart because the setting trick is the ace of hearts. So this time we'll play high to encourage, play the 9. And if my partner gets a message, we'll take the ace of hearts. After that, Declarer will claim the rest, but we'll have defeated the contract. Finally, let's have a look at this one. Here, South has opened 2 no trump. North bids 3 clubs Stayman. South bids 3 diamonds, which denies a 4-card major. And North bids 3 no trump. And this time your partner leads the 6 of hearts. A low heart is played from dummy. You play the 10, and that loses to Declarer's king. And you should be thinking about a number of things on this hand. You should be using the rule of 11 to try and work out who's got the remaining missing high hearts. You should also be thinking about how many hearts your partner started off with. Can you work out all those questions? Declarer now, having won the king of hearts, crosses over to the queen of diamonds and leads the 4 of spades. And my last poll question for you is, what should you play as East? Have a look at the results. And 59% have gone for the ace, with the rest of you choosing a low card. And let's see what we can make of it. Let's just rewind a little bit to this first trick, where your partner has led the 6 and we played the 10 and it lost to the king. Well, you should be thinking about using the rule of 11 here on the lead of the 6 of hearts. 11 minus 6 is 5. And you can see 4 cards higher than that 6. You can see the 9-7 in dummy, and you had the Jack 10. So Declarer's king is their only high card. That's the only card they have in their hand higher than the 6. So your partner's hearts, together with your Jack, are ready to run. Also, there's a clue in the bidding here, which is that North used Stayman and South bid 3 diamonds. So South does not have 4 hearts or more. So if you assume that South has got just three hearts and do the arithmetic, you will realize that your partner started with a five-card heart suit. And so when declarer plays the diamonds and then plays a spade, normally it's right to play second hand low, but not this time, because we can see we can defeat the contract by going up with the ace and switching back to heart. So let's just bring up the four hands, and I hope you can see that the winning play here is to take the ace and to switch back to hearts. Start with the jack of hearts high from two remaining, and then play the last heart over to your partner, who can take the remaining hearts to defeat the contract. After this, declarer will claim the rest, but you can see if we go back to the beginning, you can see declarer's got how many top tricks they've got: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And with the King of Hearts, they've got 8 tricks. So they need to kind of sneak a trick with a spade here to make 9 tricks. But if you're on the ball, you'll realize that you can defeat the contract by playing second hand high, rather than what you would normally do here, which is not play your ace, but save it. So that was a tricky one. Anyone have any questions about any of this?